Um, everybody, welcome. Very glad to be in our webinar together with Thales. And today we are going to talk about the facial recognition integration we've made. My name is Wesley Keegstra, working at Nedap for a bit more than 8 years now. Started in the support engineering and now moving towards our technology partner program, where we create lots of nice integrations, which we hope to tell you a bit about today. The main goal of this webinar is to do a brief introduction of the integration we have recently made. We try to stay away from all real small details about the hardware and the software. It's really about the highlight of an access control system together with facial recognition. We have a short demo, but we'll get into that later on. Today with me is Philippe Faure from Thales and Arjan Bouter from Nedap as well. I have a small agenda because we have a lot of people online from partners from Thales, partners from Nedap. They might not know each other, so we start with a small company introduction. It's not per se a sales webinar, but I think it's good to briefly introduce both companies. Then we'll get into the face recognition platform itself, and then into the solution that we have created. We will have a look at the opportunities. We have a recorded demo which we want to show you, and in the end it's a bit about contacts and communication, so the solution availability. And at the end we have a Q&A session. Now if you look in the bottom of your Zoom application, you see a chat and a Q&A section. Use the chat if there are any issues during the webinar, so sound is bad or whatever. And then at the end, put your questions into the Q&A, so we have it a bit aligned. So let's start with a Nedap introduction. And who better to tell that than our head of sales, Arjan Bouter.
Hello, everyone. It's good to have some pictures. Good. My name is Arjan Bouter. I'm heading the sales for Nedap Security Management. Can you put yourself on mute, please, because I hear an echo. Thank you, Wesley. Yes. A brief introduction about Nedap Security Management. If you look at Nedap, the company, we have. Sorry, I'm going too fast. There's a delay in the controls. Nedap Security Management, we are a company with 750 employees, having an annual turnover of 200 million euros. Every earnings will be invested in our technology. That means that we are not taking over any companies. We invest in our clients, in our channel, and in our technology and our solutions to distinguish ourselves from the markets. We serve 8 markets with all kinds of solutions. We have shared between these market groups 4 core technologies. We share the technologies of connected devices, huge installations having devices in the field connected to a central server instance. We share communication technology. That's about UHF, NFC, Bluetooth, and also RFID solutions. And if you go to the server architectures between the markets, we share cloud technologies and central server solutions where a lot of users are connected to, and also these devices. And finally, the 4th core technology we share is user experience, because we learn a lot of the screens that people are using to run applications, and we share also this technology between the market groups. Let's focus a bit more on security management, the market group that provides the AEOS solution for access control. And our market and our journey started in the 80s, and you see at the picture on the left side of your screen that a lady is wearing a badge. You just see it. And we were the first in the world having hands-free technology, opening up doors with templates and control access. And later on, we moved as a business unit to a global solution. So nowadays you can buy Nedap, the AEOS platform for access control worldwide. And we even serve global clients with a central server architecture with all kinds of sites around the globe, wherever you are. If we look to the future and we go a little bit further on the timeline, then we believe that we will provide the market with data-driven solutions around access control and with all kind of business analytics and of course with services from the cloud, the so-called access control services. Some highlights of the Nedap Security Management market group. We serve around 6,000 enterprise clients. These clients can have 10 doors or 50 doors, but we also have enterprise clients having 30,000 doors connected to a central environment. We work together with channel partners that are installing our products and enlarging the solutions towards our clients. They also maintain and service the solutions directly to the end clients. You can find our solution in 83 countries around the globe, and every day we have calculated that we control a door is about 48 million times. We have sales offices in several countries in Europe and also abroad. And we cooperate, and this is today a very good example, a lot of with technology partners. And the example we'll show you today is with Thales about face recognition. Just for those that doesn't know how we serve the market, our sales offices are talking directly to end clients. We have focus on the critical national infrastructure clients, large enterprise organizations, and also key accounts on a global scale. But we deliver always through a channel. And these channel partners are certified by Nedap, can also be a value-added reseller. And we work together also with global installation partners. And we also focus on the consultants, helping them to design security solutions. When you put this all on the map, there you see, sorry, that's too quick. On the orange part of the map, we have our own sales offices talking directly to the clients, helping our partners to bring solutions alive. In the dark blue area, we have value-added resellers also cooperating with system integrators and bringing our solutions to the market. And the rest of the world is covered by partners we actively focused on. Also in the light blue area, if there's no partner available, we make sure that we will find an installation partner and get the solution alive. Some of our clients, if you look at the specific sectors we are in, the main biometric solutions you will find in data centers, in military environments, but also in the automotive industry and the financial industries. We have a lot of examples, and I'm really excited to look forward to what we have done together with Thales on this in this field. Wesley, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you, Arjan. A very brief but nice introduction about Nedap. And every time hearing this story, it makes me proud to work for such a company. Philippe, can you do the same for a Thales introduction?
Yes. Do you hear me?
Or in the meantime, we can also do a poll, because I have a nice question for you all, which is this one. How do you get access to your company building? Is this via a physical key? Is it via a badge? Is it via the reception that opens a door for you? Can you use your mobile? So you have an app on your mobile and you can click it to open a door. You use your fingerprints. You already have facial recognition, whatever. It would be cool to get as many votes as possible and see where the current interest is. Okay, going to 50% already. Very nice. Those who haven't voted, please do so. Okay, last few votes. And I think we can see that the badge is quite a winner at the moment with 27%. Okay, well from here we'll get into the webinar again. Philippe, how is your audio going?
Hello, do you hear me?
This is much better. Very nice.
Okay, finally. Sorry.
Let's go ahead quickly.
All right, so let's move on with the Thales key figures on the next slide. All right, so Thales is a large company of 83,000 people with 68 countries global presence, and we also invest heavily in our R&D up to €1 billion. Next slide, please. So at Thales, our mission is essentially to help customers master decisive moment, and we do that by providing the right information at the right moment. It's all about collecting data, transmitting data, and processing data. And for sure, access control is a decisive moment, and we will see later on that we process certain data to decide whether we should grant access or not. The market that we serve on the right side, myself, I'm in a division called Digital Identity and Security. As its name indicates, it's all about digital identity and security. We also serve defense and security markets, aerospace, space, and ground transportation. Next slide. So within the digital identity and security, we provide digital identity for mobile operators when you're a subscriber, for banking customers when you're a customer of the bank, and we have a business style called Identity and Biometric Solutions, which, as I will come in a minute, is about providing identities to citizens, to employees, to passengers, leveraging also from our biometric portfolio, which is coming from the acquisition of Cogent a few years back for the whole range of biometric products from fingerprint, face, and iris. Next slide, please. So that business line where I'm in is totally devoted to identity and biometric solutions. We're about 3,000 employees. Our customers are in 180 countries. And we have an R&D team of over 1,000 people, again, totally dedicated to these solutions. Next slide. So to give a little bit of understanding, originally our business line was providing secure documents such as passport, ID, driving license, and so on, that are the basis of someone's identity. But then gradually we also provided a number of solutions to manage the whole life cycle of this document, from the issuance part, when you have to create this document, meaning gathering some information about the person, all the way to using them, meaning verifying this document and verifying the identity of these people, which is, for instance, exactly what happens when you hand over your passport at the border gate at the airport, or when you go through automatic gate to control your identity. So all these solutions around that, including identity verifications, are provided by our business line. And of course, our customers are mostly governments, public agency, but also law enforcement authorities and many other civil institutions. Next slide. So without going into too much details, besides the secure documents which I mentioned, we have a variety of solutions. One of them is to provide identity to all the citizens of the country. These are called the National ID System. We have solutions that manage the border control, so the whole border control system when you cross the border at an airport, for instance, could be by us. We have document readers that, of course, are embedded into these type of solutions for document scanning. And then we have a range of solutions for commercial biometrics. For instance, when a bank or a mobile operator wants to enroll a new customer from a mobile, we have solutions that allow these banks and customers to verify the identity over the mobile of these individuals. And then on the bottom part, we have also a number of solutions for law enforcement, which is more geared to forensic investigation, leveraging from biometry to identify people, because obviously one way to identify people is through the biometry of people, be it fingerprint, face, or iris. Next slide. Back to
Thank
you.
you, Philippe. It's a very nice introduction. And I know it's a bit short, but I think it's good to just highlight the related stuff at this moment. Well, now that we know Nedap and that we know Thales, what did we do together? Within Nedap security management, we have the philosophy that the best of breed is really the way to go. It's going to be the future. We do access control at a very high level, and Thales does, well, in this case, for example, biometric identification, very good. And wouldn't it be cool to put these two things together? And that's what we mean with best of breed, but doing what you do best and then integrating that with people that do what they do best. So we always start with connecting with potential technology partners, and connecting means basically what value can we bring to the end customers. From there, if we have a good fit, we start the development. And once the development is finished, we do a mutual verification of the integration that has been made. Simply meaning, together we check, is the integration working? Is it functional? Are the configuration settings, are they easy to find and doable? Is this something that we can put into the market? And when both parties are happy with the developed integration, then we go to market. And by going to market, we mean we put out press releases, we create webinars like these to enlighten people about the integration that we have made and what it will mean for them. And within these integrations, we really try for using open standards, like, for example, OSTP, but also using the network as a network layer, together with different other APIs that AEOS provides. Meaning you can choose an access control system and from there connect to every solution that you would need. Meaning in this case, it's Thales. But yeah, like the picture shows, there are lots of integrations out there in the market already. And the technology partner program is really based on creating high quality, simple solutions which are user friendly. And this is something that we try to strive for in each and every integration that we make. And the main thing is to do it together instead of doing it from Nedap or from Thales' point of view, but really doing it in a mutual effort. Philippe, could you do an introduction of the face recognition platform?
Absolutely. So the face recognition platform, FRP for short, is a general purpose recognition, face recognition solution that can work with video in real time or recorded video or photos, and it will recognize multiple faces in these videos or photos. So we can handle a variety of use cases, from detecting people in the crowd and recognizing them, to finding the one single photo into a multi-million database of photos, to comparing two photos as you would, for instance, if you were a security officer at a border and trying to compare the face of the person in front of you and the face of the passport. And from a technical point of view, we like to say that our FRP is integration ready. We want to make it integrator friendly and also developer friendly, so that you can develop your own application should what we have not be sufficient. Next slide, please. So we have packaged our offer along main use cases. The one that we'll be focusing on in a minute is obviously access control, which is in the middle. It's called FRP Verify. And it's about identifying one person when they try to enter a building or cross a door and so on. Just to touch on the other offers, and I won't be long, we have another offer dedicated to surveillance, FRP Watch. We have an offer dedicated to forensic investigation, FRP Search. All of them are, of course, manipulating real-time or recorded videos to find people. And then on the right side, we have FRP Check, which is more about the identity verification, such as what you have on borders. If you think, for instance, of the gate, automatic gate that you have in airports when you cross the border, you present your passport, and then there's a picture of you that is taken, and then what's happening is your face is compared to the passport. In these gates, for instance, in Paris, Roissy, Charles de Gaulle, the gates are including exactly that solution, FRP Check. At the heart, it's the same technology, by the way. I mean, our facial recognition applications. We have an FRP mobile application that provides face recognition for people that are on the move. Even if you're out of network, you can still run this locally on your phone. And then we have SDK and APIs, as I mentioned, so that you can develop and integrate. Next slide. So here we come to the core of the solutions that we have integrated with AEOS. So we have actually a dedicated Face Pod, which is an all-in-one hardware and software product that we provide that is aiming at providing contactless, fast, easy, and secure access control. So you can see the look of this Face Pod. It looks like a tablet, a bit thicker. It's an 8-inch screen. The purpose was to make it user-friendly and fast, and you can see some sample of the screens. You will see that also in the video in a minute. It has an integrated camera, obviously, and also on board, so that all the processing can happen locally. The 3D camera is quite important because it provides for what is called liveness detection, which is to detect any spoofing attack. If you would use a photo or a video to enter, it would detect that immediately and reject. Another important feature is that all the face matching can happen locally on the device. Of course, it can happen remotely on our server, but the recommended use is to have it run locally. We'll see in the next slides why, but this is essentially so that it continues to work even if the network is totally down, and so that your doors continue to work even if the networks are down. In terms of scenario, we support two main cases, what we call face plus badge or face only. Again, this will be illustrated in the videos. Face plus badge compares your face with the images associated with the badge, and face only will try to find your face in a list of authorized employees. And then as an add-on, we have real-time alerts for unknown individuals. Surely the security staff would want to know if anyone that is unknown is trying to enter the building. Next slide. So going a little bit more into the details, the first step is really about enrollment. Before you can do anything or somebody can use the solution, that person, that employee, that visitor needs to get enrolled into the system once. This can be done very simply doing a single image enrollment via a web client. And this will be shown in the video. But if you have an existing database of employees and you have the photos of your employees, you could do a bulk upload into the system. And then subsequently, for any addition, you would do the one at a time image enrollment. Naturally, when people are removed, when they go, they leave the building or leave the company, their record, will be also deleted from our FRP solution. And then once you've done that, then you're ready to use the system. So you can choose which scenario you want, face plus badge or face only. Both are possible. You can mix. The first one is very simple to understand. You swipe your badge and then this triggers a face capture. That face is compared to the image associated with the badge. And then the results of that is sent back to AEOS. And in the end, it's the AEOS platform that will grant or deny the access based on that information plus the authorization list it has already. For the face only, it's even simpler. What the person has to do is to approach the camera. As soon as he's within range, the face is captured. Within less than a second, the matching is occurring locally or remotely. And then that same result is returned to the AEOS controller that will have the result of the match and the badge ID. And then again, AEOS will grant or deny the access. Next slide. So here, this is showing a little bit more detailed view of the architecture. So on the back end, you have an AEOS server and you have an FRP server. And then on the front end, you have multiple controllers that are located near to the doors. And you have face modules also located near the door. So the first step is to do the enrollment. So shown here, it is triggered by the AEOS server, which communicates to the FRP server. Image is taken, picture is recorded, and now you're in the system. And then afterwards, so two ways of working, but let's say you swipe your badge, then the AEOS controller will alert the face module. This will trigger a face capture. Matching will be done locally, and the results will be sent back to the AEOS controller. The AEOS controller will open the door. If you don't have a badge, then it's even simpler. You skip the initial steps, and it's just directly the face module that controls the capture and sends back the result to the AEOS controller. That's whole solution that you see here. I mean, all four building blocks have been fully tested, certified by Nedap and Thales. And so the integration really was the action of combining, communicating between the backend servers, as you see here on this picture, and communicating with the face module and the AEOS controller, so that eventually what you get is a fully integrated solution. You only have to install it, configure it, and run. There's no development necessary to use it. It's as plug and play as it can be. Next slide. A few other consideration. So I think the first bullet point I mentioned it. We wanted this to be a complete solution. No assembly required, should I say? You can mix and match the scenarios. What you call identification or verification. Badge plus face or badge or face only. There is no wiring. Everything is happening over TCP/IP. And to reiterate this point, because it's an important one, the face module, the face pod, can work standalone, even if it is disconnected because there is some network outage. It has locally the knowledge of the people, and it will recognize them and communicate locally with the AEOS controller, even without any backend network. Accuracy is another, questions that you probably have. So our accuracy is very good. It's above 99%. We could, spend a couple of hours just talking about that. And we already have some ongoing projects, one for an airport, one for a military base, and one for a retailer, and several more in the pipes. Next slide. So I think this is, so some opportunities. Overall, face recognition is quite a trend in the industry. It has proven to be mature, first of all. Over the past few years, it was really a revolution that drastically increased the accuracy, thanks to what is called neural networks. So now it's fast, reliable, it's obviously secure and intuitive. And as an illustration of the speed, we have been running a number of projects in airports where we're using biometric face recognition for passenger boarding. And our experience and the experience of airline is that it has saved time about 1/3 of the time, which is quite significant, just as an illustration that the process with face recognition is quite fluid and fast for end users. The second axis, which is very important these days, is it's a contactless solution. In this post-COVID environment, many customers are considering this as a strong hygiene factor. Contactless is perceived as safer, there is less risk of contamination. So that's the perfect solution for that. The third axis of opportunity is the Thales strong presence worldwide, which can help all of you to develop your business in new territories. We're present in 68 countries. We're focused on very large accounts, and we'll be certainly delighted to help you grow the business wherever we can. Conversely, for the Nedap existing customers, the opportunity here is to get an easy plug-and-play upgrade to facial recognition. Again, we wanted to make it as simple as possible. All the integration is done, so it's there for them to use. And then the last thing we'll be working on is to set up demos in the HQ showroom and hopefully in other places around the world, including also in some Thales offices. Next slide. Right, so we're in for a short video of the demo. So I'll be commenting it briefly. The first step is about the enrollment. So you're in the AEOS screen, and a person is going to be created along with his information, demographic information, and badge ID. So I'll let the video run for a couple of seconds. So what's going to happen is this is going to trigger a face capture on the FRP side. The face of the individual will be captured and then recorded into the FRP system. So here you go. So this is using a simple, webcam, and you could use any camera for that attached to the system. And it can be done in the lobby of an office. It can be done at the security office. Literally anywhere where there is an AEOS access. So here we're done. We check that the person is in the FRP system. It's there, his name, photo. And the moment this is done, it's also synchronized with all of the face module that are connected to this database. So now we can test the system. So here we're simulating face plus badge. The person is swiping the badge. This will trigger the capture, and you see that almost instantly the person is recognized. And so in case that the person is a bit too far away from the camera, he will receive some instructions to move forward, as you will see here. So the face is detected, the person has to come a little bit closer, and then he is recognized. By the way, the range is about 1.2 meters, which includes the liveness detection. I mean, we can detect further away, but for the liveness 3D, it's about that range, which is, we have found, is to be sufficient for reasonable access control throughput. Right, so coming to the final part, so in terms of solution availability, this solution is available worldwide. We have a brochure ready, which will be circulating very soon. In addition to the short video that you have here, we'll be coming up with a more marketing video early September, but this one already gives you a pretty good idea of the system. We have demo units in all of the main regions. So if you contact your sales offices, they should be able to make demos. Below you have some key sales contacts. So for Europe, we have a person based in Paris. For Middle East, Africa, and India, we have people based in Dubai. For people in NORAM, we have offices in Austin, among others, and also on the East Coast. For LATAM, we have the contact here. People are based throughout LATAM, but certainly Sao Paulo and Mexico. And so for Asia, we have presence particularly in Singapore and Hong Kong. And of course, I'm always there as a backup should you have trouble finding someone. I want to add also that in each of these regions, we have technical pre-sales support that can handle any technical questions during the sales cycle.
Well, thank you, Philippe. I think that's a nice introduction and a nice demo of the integration. As shown, it's a single platform, so you manage everything from AEOS. That's the access control part, and then storing templates, encrypting them, securing them, transferring them secure over the network to the modules. That's done by basically the power of Thales, the FRP software. The solution availability, Philippe mentioned some contacts. I think we are quite the same. We have some offices across Europe and across the globe. I don't have the email addresses, but on our website you can either use the chat or find the correct contact persons there. But feel free to contact me if you have any questions left. I'm available the same as Philippe will be. That was it for now. I hope you have gotten a brief insight. And just to check, I would like to start my second question. Because my first question was, how do you get access? And my second question is, how would you like to get access to your company building? So we'll leave this running for a few minutes. Do you want to get access via the reception guards, or do you want to use your mobile? Then you will still need the device, you will need battery, you will need to open the app perhaps and configure it. Or do you want to use facial recognition? Going towards the 50%. Vote while you can. Give it a few seconds. Last votes coming in. Okay. Well, it's a good thing. I think facial recognition quite won it from our first question. Like I said, it's not about all the bits and buts and details of the integration. I mean, if you're really excited, then we can always start a new talk. For now, it's really to show access control together with facial recognition, what the integration between Nedap and Thales means, and how it can help you and your customers. From there, I would like to continue to the Q&A. And as mentioned in the bottom, there are two different ways. You have the chat and you have the Q&A box. If you use the Q&A, that would be easier for us to mention.
So I see a first question in the Q&A, which I can probably take. Bart is asking, what is the time for one-to-one identification in case of a 10,000 person database? So there are two parts to the answer. The first part is I would say it's instantaneous. Let me give you a figure. In terms of pure matching, we do several million match per second on a single CPU core. So really the match is really instantaneous. The time will come actually more from the acquisition part, the capture, and the liveness detection. So if you include the whole cycle, we are less than a second. And I think this was visible on the video.
Okay, thank you. I will just quickly check the chat to see if we missed anything there. No, I guess not. Cool. Any other questions that you have for either me, for Arjan, for Philippe? If not, that's fine as well. As mentioned, we'll keep our website up to date. We'll keep the Thales website up to date with any progress in the integration.
Yeah, we see another question. So thanks for that. So what happens if two faces are present in the screen? It takes the closest one. So that's how it works. It takes the closest one. We provide the cameras or source them from another vendor. So we provide the complete package. When we sell the Face Pod, it has everything. You don't have to worry about anything. It's, it has as you saw it on the screen, the camera is integrated. You don't have to purchase anything else. It has the CPU board. Actually, we're using a third-party camera. Obviously, we don't manufacture the camera, but we do integrate it into that Face Pod. What are the liveness parameters that you're using? The technology we're using is a 3D camera, so it's basically detecting whether this is a 3D shape. And if it's not, then it will detect immediately, for instance, any photo on a paper, on mobile, video, or anything of that sort. It will detect it immediately. And by the way, that's the technology that we're using in the border control. We have had these gates running for more than 2 years now at a number of airports, including liveness detection. So this is a very solid technology. All right, so next questions. How do you calculate the control panel for the system? Meaning, how many doors can one control panel serve? I think Wesley, you can probably take this one.
Yeah. Well, basically, because the Face Pod connects over network with our controller, there's no limitation in wiring between the controller and the Face Pod. How many? Well, the door controller can connect up to 32 doors. So likewise, 32 Face Pods, if you'd like.
Right. So continuing with the list, I think I saw one scroll by. Let's see. Are your face templates stored on server or device level? Both, in fact. So because we want our Face Pod to operate also locally without any network, the templates are stored on the Face Pod. They're also stored centrally in the server, and naturally they are all encrypted with strong encryption. And this is related to the next question: are you facing limitations with privacy and confidentiality? I would say, well, it depends on country, but the vast majority is no, there is no issue. One reason is that many companies already have the photos of their employees, so they already have the responsibility of keeping them safe. and so we're not, adding any new biometric data. We're simply using it, and so the number of processes that you have to go through depending on the country, but in general, we are able to handle that quite well. So the next question is, what's the range for accurately capturing faces in a crowd? Can you come person in a group? I think this question is more relevant for our, let's say, surveillance solutions. I don't want to talk too much about it, but we're certainly able to. I mean, first of all, it all depends on the camera itself. I mean, you could, pick up faces at 10 meters, and we could count up to 100+ people, in a scene. But if you're talking about access control, then we probably need to have a separate discussion. Right now, we're doing one by one, but nothing would prevent us to do a few people. And we have that same, by the way, need in boarding, because we're looking at boarding by family, for instance.
Yeah. So indeed, the face in the crowd, it's a different solution, which is not implemented for now.
So the next question is for enrollment. How can the server use the webcam on the client? No, so I want to be very clear, the enrollment is not using at all the Face Pod. And the Face Pod is, think of it as sitting at the door, the various doors of the building. So this is not where you would enroll the people. You would typically enroll the people, for instance, at the office lobby, the main lobby of your building, or a security office, and this is where you would have for instance, imagine a PC with a webcam connected to AEOS, and from there you could trigger the webcam and take the picture. So do you need to install? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, the need of installing an application is not needed because AEOS is a web interface, so it's web-based. And you simply use the local webcam.
What about GDPR on face storage? So the usual way to handle that is to prepare what is called a personal data impact assessment under your responsibility to show that you are taking the proper steps to fully manage the data privacy, etc. So this starts with communicating about what you're doing with this biometric data. It continues with ensuring you're taking the proper security measures. So we're enabling some of this through our product features. And then there are other considerations like retention, etc. So GDPR has 7 key points. I don't want to go into too much detail, but we have all what is required in the product to support you. It remains that it is in the end the responsibility of the customer to make sure that at his project level he's compliant with GDPR, but our experience shown that all of them can be handled without any major issue. So the next one,
yeah, he was asking the limitation as in the distance between controller and what device.
Yeah.
So the limitation he meant.
Yeah. So I think the limitation so far was mostly for surveillance, because we have done a number of projects in the US with facial recognition related to airports, I have to admit, but related to airports without any issues. So things may change, but so far these kind of pilots and projects have been possible. Again, access control boarding, I'm not talking about surveillance, clearly, which is much more sensitive. So again, we haven't seen any issue there, but again, things are evolving very rapidly in this front.
Okay. Well, I think it's we should leave it for here. Like said, if there are any questions left, feel free to contact either one of us. I would like to thank everybody for participating. I hope you enjoyed and you got a brief insight of the integration that has been made. Keep an eye out for the website of Nedap or either Thales to know more about the integration. And as mentioned, feel free to contact any one of us. Thank you all for now, and have a good evening or afternoon, depending on where you are. And hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.